I'm Jameson, the Kilted Hiker, and on this channel we explore the wild corners of Cascadia. And in this episode, we're heading for the edge, the Ozette Triangle, and the westernmost point in the contiguous United States, Cape Alava. It's a place shaped by ocean, time, and those who came long before us, where driftwood lines the shore, sunsets stop you in your tracks, and petroglyphs carry stories carved centuries ago. This is the Ozette Triangle. Well, good morning. So, getting ready to take off on our adventure. JB, who, if you watched the Nooka Island episode, you'll remember. He's an old hiking buddy of my mom's. He's going to pick me up, and we're going to drive over to Whidbey Island, pick up my mom and my brother. Then we're going to head to the ferry that'll bring us over to the peninsula, over to Port Townsend. It's a cool little Victorian-themed town. And we'll be taking the highway over. It kind of hugs the strait to Juan de Fuca. We'll pass through Port Angeles and hopefully get a nice meal there, because that's the last stop really, as far as good restaurants and stuff. So we'll do that, and then we'll head to the trailhead on Lake Ozette. So yeah, let's go on this journey.
See how high that is? Not high enough for me. There. That's a big piece of pizza.
Yeah, mine was good.
together?
Uh-huh.
And so it begins. About 3.5 miles out to the coast we go. So we can find our camp spot for the night. Beautiful out right now. Right, we're about 15 minutes down the trail. We passed a couple of old folks, and they said they watched a black bear, a younger one, down on the beach. So we might have some company down there this evening. Also packing a lot of water on this trip. There are water sources, but the notice said the iodine tablets and stuff won't cut it. You got to do that and a filter. And even then, you're going to clog up your filter with this water. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 liters. So that should give me a ways. Got a couple of pints of strong ale for the next 2 nights. So I could stay hydrated that way, I suppose. So far, this trail has been a lot of boardwalk. If you could see there. Sunny out, but the sun has a hard time reaching down into the thick overhead. This bridge seems a little overkill, but it is the end of summer, and we've had very little rain. So some of these big open areas, the Swedes came and kind of homesteaded this area way back when. And this was farmland for them. Past a few people, but for the most part, it's pretty quiet. It is a Monday after all in September. The reservations were pretty booked up for the weekend, but really not many for today and tomorrow, so the campground shouldn't be too full, which will be nice. And we got a nice little window of weather here. Tomorrow's supposed to get up to 75 in Ozette. I'll believe it when I see it. And then the rain might move in Wednesday morning on us, so we'll see how that goes. Really, for September in the rainforest, I'll take it. It's pretty awesome out here. Well, I can smell the ocean air. We're getting close now. Looks like a nice gradual descent down to the beach here. Hopefully no rope climbs like we did on Nuka. Nice and sunny down there. It's a little after 5, so plenty of time to get situated, set camp, then make some dinner. Yeah, check it out. You wouldn't know it on a day like this, but this coastline sits directly in the path of the Pacific weather systems, bringing heavy rain, strong winds, and one of the most dynamic environments in Cascadia. The Olympic Mountains act as a kind of shield. Storms hit hard out here on the coast, while areas to the northeast, including the island I call home, sit in a relative rain shadow. That constant push and pull shapes everything here, from the dense coastal forest around me, to the elk, wolves, and bear that move between forest and shoreline. And it's been that way for a very long time. Indigenous communities have lived along the coast for thousands of years, building a deep connection to both land and ocean. This wasn't just a place they lived near. This coast was the center of their world.
The balance has been pretty bad.
Don't put much weight on that guardrail.
Oh, yeah.
I'll try to hold it up.
Oh, it just balances you.
Go slow.
So this is the stream you'd use to fill up, and it's looking kind of thick.
Yeah, I have a lot of water.
Got a bear track there.
Yeah, that one's pretty worn.
Maybe a wolf there. And a lot of human tracks.
More hikers than wildlife.
This is going to be our home for the night.
I'm just going to build my cabin right here.
Got a nice swing. The bathroom is way down there and to the left. Just enough distance, but there's campsites all along here, all along there, and only a couple other campers out here. So it's going to be a quiet night. It's going to be a fantastic sunset, I think. Just enough wildfire smoke in the sky. So I've claimed this piece of land and I shall build my shelter now. It's a beautiful, mellow evening here. The wind died down, and the sunset just keeps going on and on. There's campers along the line here, but we're all spread out quite a ways, so we all have our own zone. I had one of my energy bars around 4:30, and it actually kind of totally filled me up, so I'm not going to do a hot meal tonight. I'm just going to drink the stout I packed in and wake up early and see if I can catch some wildlife. Like there's some wolf tracks right around our camp and bear, and somebody reported cougar tracks about 6 days ago here, right outside the camp. But man, it's pretty. See you guys tomorrow. It's about 6:30. I'm gonna go for a little walk up around this corner. Tide's way out. No wildlife yet. I feel like that crow's alerting the other animals. He's very vocal. I'm going to continue walking down around this corner though, because I know we're not going this way today. If you follow this coast down, there's a trail. For a lot of it, it takes you to Shai in Nia Bay. But we're going to be going the other way, so looks like there's a land bridge going out to that little island, so maybe it's crossable. Not sure if the tide's still going out. There's an old building up on this bluff here. Well, gotta abide by the rules. Must be a bird sanctuary or something. So I'm turning around. I might head back. It's feeling like coffee time to me. All right, we're heading out. Change of plans here. JB was not feeling it, so he's gonna walk back the same way we came. My brother's gonna piddle around on the beach and then follow him. Sandy and I are gonna do the rest of the circuit. So we're gonna not camp a second night, and we're gonna meet them back at the vehicle. So we'll be doing 6-ish miles. And yeah, so we're gonna get moving here and try to, there's one point I think where if the tide's in too far, we'll have to climb a rope and go over a little head, but still low right now, so we'll see how it goes. So that's a pretty sweet campsite right up in there. I'll put the coordinates down. There was one a little ways back, but it wasn't nearly as charming. So yeah, if you're looking for something kind of down the beach and away from the crowds, that would be a fine choice. Getting slippery out here. This is about 1 minute further down the line. Not quite as much room. Not as nice of a dining table, but you've got options. Looks like there's more campsites along this little area. I'm not going to go up to each one because my 75-year-old mother's kind of schooling me back there. She's burning rubber. So, gonna play a little catch up. Tide is coming in, so our momentum might slow a bit. Oh yeah. That one up there has a nice little table as well. Old fisherman's spool. Onward. About to find the sun. All right, well, when my little map thing refreshed, it showed I passed the petroglyphs. So I'm gonna backtrack a little bit real quick and see if I could find them. All right, well, you can see I'm not on the spot, but I am on the spot. These petroglyphs, along with a handful of others etched into the rock along this stretch of coastline, are estimated to be 300 to 500 years old. I'm grateful they've stood the test of time, largely untouched by the modern world. There it is. Looks like a petroglyph of panicked people. So, onward we go. So we just passed our first couple of the day. And they mentioned a bear right up around this next corner, so we'll see if Mr. Bear's still there, I guess. Exciting. Well, we're following Mr. Bear's footprints. Still following some fresh footprints here. Kind of scanning up into the woods too. Although if these prints are accurate, he's just moseying on down the beach. Looks like a campsite there. And when the tide's in, there's a rope over here and you could climb up over this head. But luckily it looks like we can make it around without the rope. And so ends this journey. As always, thanks for coming along. I'll leave you with one last look at that sunset at Cape Alava. More Cascadia ahead, so we'll see you guys on the next one.